It's the Montford Meltdown. My guest today is Phillip Wyatt. Phillip, thanks for coming by. I heard you were hanging out at a Starbucks waiting for us to get a hold of you.
Don't out me. There was a...
There's nothing wrong with going to a Starbucks aside from you pay $5 for a cup of coffee.
Actually, it was free today. That's the whole reason I went.
What, you got a Groupon?
No, it was actually, I got an email.
Yeah.
And like it was marketed like, hey, it's the day after the Super Bowl. Like,
Don't you want a cup of coffee?
yeah.
Wait, so I could have got... I don't get emails from Starbucks. You're on a list where Starbucks...
This is Asheville.
You don't want people knowing about this?
No.
You don't want people knowing about this because you don't want your spot blown up because you're getting all this free coffee.
It was available to...
I'll zip my lip, Phillip, on that one. One thing I do want to talk to you about, though, a company, a foreign company in Europe, well, it's not foreign if it's in Europe because to itself. Adidas. How long have you been into? You're wearing an Adidas hat and an Adidas shirt, so I'm going to assume you're an expert on Adidas.
I wouldn't say that now. I know a few things.
I've worn a lot of LL Bean stuff at the same time, and if someone asked me anything about LL Bean, I would have no idea what to tell them. So you've got a point. It might just be that Adidas is the only company making clothes anymore.
It's just like a comfort thing, and just growing up, like playing tennis, like our school uniforms were Adidas. It just like kind of stuck with me.
Have you owned Adidas shoes?
Yes, I have.
I'm wearing Adidas shoes right now. I'm not gonna, if I show my shoe on the thing, something will flip over. But they're really cheap, not great quality shoes. But I like them because they're Adidas shoes and they look good enough to where I don't have to explain them to anybody. But like it seems like new Adidas shoes, or at least the last time I looked, which may have been years ago, they look like space shoes. It's like they're trying to do Space Jam or something. I don't know. Like they got soccer shoes, they got basketball shoes, they got every different kind of shoe for every sport that I don't play. And what happened to the regular shoe? And are they available? And are you wearing Adidas right now on your feet?
No, I am not currently wearing Adidas. I am wearing a Shoes for Cruise special.
Yeah, I need to get a set of those. I need some walking around shoes I've got 3 different pairs of slippers back there for different situations in the apartment that I just switch between them. Because I'm a crazy person. I don't know if that's like a method, because they're not dirty because they never got on its side, but they're used for different things. I'm not going to explain it, but I just wish I could walk on my floor and not feel disgusting.
Yeah, I've tried to make a point to like take my shoes off at the door. Like suddenly I'm like that girl now. Like I'm the shoes at the door girl.
I mean, it's a great policy.
It really is, and like I can honestly say,
has it improved?
There's
everything?
Less dirt to
you
sweep
bring less
up.
stuff in.
Yeah, totally. It all makes sense.
But I'm at war with an enormous cat that's also in my apartment.
Fair.
Which uses the litter box and then like goes like that afterwards, and then like goes like that a little bit, and then like gets some out so that it can do a slide like down, like a nice gravel slide down the hall. I don't know how to curb the behavior. It seems to be built in. I don't know what he's doing.
Just get some house slippers, you know?
Yeah, I got house slippers. Yeah.
Okay, you've got those.
The thing I don't like about him is they're too big. They're someone else's house slippers, and they gave me the house slippers, and I haven't bothered to buy an actual pair for myself. Slippers are expensive. Mm-hmm. I was at the Crocs store the other day, and the slippers there are $90 for a pair of slippers.
Okay, that's why. Yeah, I don't own Crocs.
Oh man, they're cloth Crocs. They're like comfy Crocs. It's
They ventured out of there.
They've got everything at the Croc store. Any Croc related thing you can think of.
Where is the Croc store even here?
At Tanger's Outlets.
Okay.
Is that how you pronounce it? Tanger's?
Tangers?
I don't. Do you ever watch local television?
Yeah.
Well, this might be some inside baseball, but there's one commercial they used to have. This Fred's Auto.
Is it Fred Anderson's?
No. Oh wait, no. It's a place on Leicester. I think a different Fred, but he would have like these flame, like fake, like digital
wacky-
flames coming up, and he would like go. He'd do a little hop, like in front of the flames, and like, we got all these used cars, and like it was just like a parking lot, like with some bad cars in it. And
I haven't seen that, but I'm gonna have to
it's Leicester.
do a Google, see if I can
Leicester
find it.
programming. I think I could make it big in Leicester if I started doing all of their stuff.
I technically lived in Leicester for a year.
Leicester gets scary the further you drive down it.
It does. There's definitely like that divide. Like you start hearing banjos once you get into deep Leicester.
I mean, there's buildings with holes in them, and there's still people living in the holes. Who's that coming in here? Who's that guy coming in here? Have a seat, Daniel. We've got people over here. I don't know if that other camera works, Derek, but you don't have to switch over to you want. Just assume this apartment's full of people. Yeah. Thanks for coming out. So, you live in the area? Do you currently live in Leicester, or you moved out of Leicester? What made you move?
Leicester itself.
It's okay. Let me tell you my Leicester experience. I had to go out there for some reason I'm not going to talk about. It was for work. But number one, people just park their car next to the mailbox in the road and read their mail in their car next to the mailbox, not moving the car.
That's some rural.
Two solid yellow lines next to, like, what? How? And yeah, there's buildings with holes in them, and people are still living in the buildings. Like, they're not condemned buildings, I guess, even though there's holes in them. And you can see people moving around in there. Like, what's going on in Leicester? What are they doing?
Something in the water. I don't know. I used a Brita whenever I lived out there. So
Oh, really?
I came out unscathed.
You think there's bad water?
I have no idea what it is, but it is. It has its own type of folk, for sure.
I'm not saying, you're not bad for living in Leicester, although obviously your circumstances are.
It was cheap.
I'm sure there's some nice places. I'm this close to moving to Leicester. It's, I don't need everything. I need there's no Ingles anywhere close, is there?
Actually,
you guys got like a Piggly Wigglies out there or something. I don't know. What do you guys
there is actually a nice one once you like go up Leicester, and it's like you go through a few stoplights, and there's a huge Ingles up there on the right. Yeah,
is it a mega Ingles?
Yeah, it actually is. It's weird. There's a Sonic out there too.
I like how Ingles are all designed exactly the same, except for a couple which are designed really badly, and the beer selection's bad. Like there's the West Asheville on Haywood Ingles.
Yeah,
a very popular Ingles with lots of people. It is no good as far as like you can't get like there's the beer situation's weird.
Yeah, it's super tiny. Yeah, like in comparison to your standard Ingles.
They need to work on it. Well, they need to tear the place down. It's old and falling apart.
Yeah, I tend not to go to that one just because.
What's your favorite Ingles?
What's my favorite Ingles? Oh, goodness.
My favorite Ingles is the one on Tunnel Road. I feel like they have everything at that one. I feel like it's a great location. There's always a weird situation going on in the parking lot. I like that. Reminds me of the hot spot. I like it.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, I've lived all around Buncombe County, so I'm like going through the Rolodex of Ingles experiences.
I've never lived way out. I used to live on Deaverview for a minute.
Okay.
I'm giving the government all my locations that I've lived in, so I don't have to give it to them later.
I think the one in Black Mountain was probably just because, like, you're not going to, me anyway, like I'm not going to run into someone like I know, like it's big, it's spacious.
I might know a couple people in Black Mountain that I don't want to run into.
And there's just room for me to do me, not have to worry about really other people. So yeah.
And you got a really nice German restaurant out there.
I've heard that they do, but
have you had the schnitz they got over there?
No,
I think you can drink out of a boot or something. They got a nice setup. I went there once. I remember the meal I had was ham, sauerkraut, and mustard, I think.
Yeah, I
and some
can't get
beer.
down with kraut or mustard.
You don't like kraut?
No, nor
It's
mustard.
an acquired. I used to not think I was a kraut person, and then it happened. Bonnie, come on. He's taught. We're gonna let Phillip talk.
No, like being like a Southern boy who was raised in Appalachia and has lived here like almost my entirety of my life, like I really don't like a lot of Southern staples.
What, like biscuits?
No, biscuits all day. But no, like green beans.
Green beans. Is that a Southern thing?
I hate them. Yeah,
They eat them up north, right?
I don't know.
They might call them something different, like greener past. I don't know. Snap peas.
There we go. That I don't know if it stems from like having to pick them out of a garden,
right?
And like
those
can them and smelling that smell.
Right. They got to go through
house.
They got to go through the process of southernization.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you got to let it sit with a big piece of meat in the middle of it. I think that's like Southern cooking's based on the 3 veggies and a meat. I feel like.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. But it's weird, like that whole like experience, like canning. Like your mom's there, maybe your grandma's there, your aunt's definitely there, and then there's some woman that you just met her, but apparently she's family. Like,
wait, and they're canning? Like,
yeah, it's a huge thing.
Oh,
like
so you're saying.
Yeah, like pressurized,
so
like
at
glass
home canning.
Yes, at home canning.
You have a lot of relatives that do that.
Yes.
Lots of pickled things in jars.
Yeah, lots of.
What's the most popular thing? Like I've seen just a jar full of beans or whatever.
I would say beans or tomatoes. Tomatoes.
Well, I mean, you get me. You want to make a nice gravy.
Lots of tomatoes for like sauces and whatnot.
You gotta. I mean, that's the way you gotta do it, right?
Apparently.
Or just make it fresh, like right there. But yeah, it's like they have to add something to it for it not to like just turn into a disgusting mush in a jar, right?
Yeah, something. But like, yeah, I just.
If something is in my fridge and I haven't opened it in a while, I still might eat it. It's.
Like I like pickles. Like I don't like hate pickle things. You know.
Pickled egg. In these trying times.
They're luxury at this point. Yes. I love vinegar and whatnot, but like.
Well, that's pretty much sauerkraut, right? Like
I know it's the texture thing.
It's because it used to be cabbage,
and it used to be like something. Now it's not, which I know like is completely contradictory towards
it's become
like
zombie food.
Yeah, like cucumbers became a pickle, but like
are so delicious compared to cucumbers.
I know.
But
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't translate for the kraut.
But yeah,
the kraut. I don't know. Maybe you had some bad kraut once. But I'm not saying, I'm not, denying your lived experience.
Maybe I did have a traumatic experience
with
the kraut.
Yeah. Was there like tuba music playing, like polka music playing in the background, and someone made an offending
tuba behind me
kraut blunder? I was at Oktoberfest and they just dumped kraut on me from a Gatorade bucket. It was terrible. I don't even know why they did it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I had a Reuben today, man, and it was covered in sauerkraut, and it was really good. But
yeah,
I don't know. But you're probably really into something that I would never want to. I mean, what's the deepest into Southern food that you're willing? Like, where does it get weird? I know Southern food can get pretty weird.
It can get so. I love fatback.
Now, okay, yes. I don't know if I've had fatback.
It's literally just like the fat shaved off of a pig's back.
Is it like chitlins? Or
you see, just like the name chitlin freaks me out, so like I don't even know what that is.
It's like
because like I just strayed away from it totally.
Wait, what am I thinking of? I'm thinking of what is the dried skin meat that they sell in a bag?
The cracklins, chicharrones.
Yeah, cracklins.
Pork rinds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, pork rinds are awesome.
Is that the same part of the pig? Pig talk here.
Pig talk, yeah. I'm not like well versed in South, but like
we're gonna get
it sounds like it, right?
Let's pull up the pig map and we're gonna find out the pig part map.
But yeah, fatback is awesome. Like it's definitely
It's like bacon?
it's kind of, but it's like thicker. Like, you know how some bacon, unless it's like super crispy, it's got some like
Yeah.
flop to it.
It's got like that big piece of fat sticking on it. Yeah.
This is just like a very thick, more like tough, saltier bacon. Like you really can't eat like a whole lot of it, or at least I can't.
I could probably eat
but like,
yeah.
I can. Yeah, I definitely
Put that in a Bloody Mary. Man.
I'm sure that exists at some brunch spot.
I went to a brunch spot earlier today, and I got a Bloody Mary, and they put a whole piece of bacon in it, but they didn't put a whole fatback in it, or a whole hog lip, or anything like that. Have you ever been to like where they like cook a pig in a hole, like they cover it and stuff and cook it?
Not a whole. But
I ate a hog nose. Like I ate some hog nose.
How was that?
Not good. Not the best part of the pig. Better parts of the pig than the hog nose.
Oh, it's really crazy. Like, I worked in the service industry for like a decade here.
Yeah.
And like, I worked for this place, pretty local, renowned chef. He knew I had the palate of like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of lineup, like we would be sampling like what was, the special that night. And he would always like leave like 90% of what was in that food out of the description so I would try it.
Oh.
And then after I was like, yeah, this is like pretty good. Then he would divulge exactly what I was eating.
What were some of the surprising elements?
Yeah, so the one, I think this is the one that grossed me out the most. I love him to death. We're friends, love him and his family, like awesome people. But he was a very like farm to table, like zero waste type of chef.
Yeah.
So he liked to utilize, of course, as much of the animal that he could. And
Gotta
like
use
he was
the
a
feet,
butcher
the
too.
shoulder,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
top
Everything.
of the head,
Everything.
the
And
goiter, or whatever that is.
gullet, yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
everything that he I was like, it sounds right.
The sweet breads.
The
sweet breads.
Yeah, we had that.
That's
there,
what
too.
is that? That's
so
the
good.
what is that? That's like
Oh,
the
I thought you were
neck?
talking about like literal sweet bread.
No, I think the sweet bread is the part of a pig's neck or something like that.
Okay.
Don't ask me why they call it sweet bread. Some jerk in the frickin' hollow came up with that one.
Oh.
Yeah, I love the sweet bread. Yeah.
But with like him, like so we were eating like these wontons, and he was like, "Oh, they're pork wontons," and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, cool. I love pork. I love wontons."
Yeah.
Then after the fact, I found out that like it was pretty much the pork aspect was like all from the face of
Nice.
the pig, like.
You've heard of head cheese, right?
That's also the establishment where I learned what head
Yeah.
cheese was when it came out on the charcuterie board. I was like, oh, a type of cheese I've never heard of.
Yeah,
Yes,
right,
I
yeah.
want it in
Yeah.
my mouth. And then found out what it was.
How'd you
So-
feel? Did it taste good? I bet it tastes great.
It did.
Yeah. Don't feel bad
But
about
like,
eating an
I
animal's face.
still felt like so gross. And
Well,
not
it's like
even
they melt the head, and like all the stuff from the head goes into like a jar or something. Yeah, it's.
I'm not sure how it's concocted, but it's something that if I'm aware
Yeah.
is around,
You
I
don't
want
want to know
nothing
that
to
either.
do
That's,
with it.
I've been talking about. I might go vegetarian. I might give it up. I can't do it anymore. I just feel bad. It's like we were talking about lobster. Like, you know how they make a lobster, right? Not to bum everybody out on Montford Meltdown, but like they
boil it
They
alive.
boil it, and it makes a screaming noise. And it's not because it's screaming in pain. It's because that's what the sound its body makes while it's being boiled, which is even worse.
Yeah,
That's-
isn't it just like air escaping
Yeah, it's
out
like,
of its shell?
It's
Yeah.
like, no, it's terrible. It's that's like if you had to hear someone fall out of a window, like if they just pushed your food out of the window. I'm not saying we should eat people that fall out of windows, although it might come to that soon.
It's looking that way.
Yeah, get ready to expand your appetite. Yeah, man, I like some Southern foods. I love barbecue. I don't know why they pickle pig's feet. What's up with the pig's feet in a jar?
I don't know.
Why that part and
It's-
not other parts? Like,
That's a good question that I cannot
I've never been
answer
that hungry
for
where I
you.
want to break out the pickled foot and start eating it in front of people.
Yeah, that's something my family did not mess with. So I don't know what the intent.
Maniac like came up with it? That's what I want to know.
No, I guess Southern people are not conventionally, but historically less wealthy. On the poor side. So you can pickle anything.
I'm trying to think, like,
apparently,
if you're
so-
super poor, what food are you going after? You want stuff that you can preserve.
True.
You want
Yeah.
stuff you can like throw in your car, get on the moonshine trail, and get away from the authorities, the G-men, T-men, and whoever else George Jones was singing about in that song about White Lightning. Yeah, wow, what a terrible life to live. No, but I'm Southern now. I think I began Southern, then I went up north for a long time, and then I came back. I mean, is this the South? Are we in the South right now?
Yes, technically, not technically.
They're trying to
we
convince
totally
people
are.
that it's the South.
We are, but like.
I mean, I guess this was part of the Confederacy.
It totally was.
I think that
yes.
officially makes it the South. Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Asheville is like this little liberal, diverse mecca kind of.
Little blue bubble.
Yeah, a little bloop.
In
like
a giant sea of just boiling redness.
Yeah, fiery inferno.
Like,
But yeah, so like, and we have, I mean, just more diverse people than in most parts of
You do
Western
run into
North
people-
Carolina. Yeah. I mean, there's still like a whole bunch of different types of white people
look
here
at all these
mostly,
different white
but
people
like
we have a variety of white people.
Right. But like compared to just like the rest of Western North Carolina, like we have that
Good.
going on.
I'm glad it is the way it is. What should they put where the Vance Monument used to be?
Oh my gosh.
Someone was saying a guillotine the other day, which is a cool idea. But
That is a great question. And like everyone that lives here has been mulling that over for years now.
you know the big metal pig they've got?
Mm-hmm.
I saw a kid with his face buried in the pig's ass. I don't know what was going on. I don't know where the parents were, but
They're taking pictures.
that kid was examining that pig very closely. Someone drove through that thing and plowed like through the turkeys, like knocked them off their thing.
When was that?
5 years ago, maybe. I think it was pre-COVID. Yeah. But yeah, what do you think they ought to put there?
That's a
guardrail so cars don't drive through.
Yeah, something. I don't know, like that. A lot of messed up things happen at that location. Like there's no sugarcoating it. Like terrible, like inhumane, just like unjust things happen.
It's like the house from Poltergeist downtown Asheville. Yeah, I'm surprised like bodies don't like start surfacing up from the road. Like out of the parking meters.
That would be a cool sequel.
Yeah, like TJ Maxx just like fills full of corpses. Not TJ Maxx. What's that place that has the big barrels of candy? The Mast.
Oh, Mass General.
Mass General Store. Yeah. I just see like ghosts coming out of there, like in Ghostbusters. I have to compare all of my theoretical things to movies that already happened because I don't have an original thought. That'd be a reason to hang out around Asheville and not leave the country.
Yeah.
Just to see that happen.
Yes. One thing to look forward to.
End of days.
Got to look at the bright side of everything, I guess.
I hope Arnold Schwarzenegger gets ready to defend us from the final days.
The final days.
Yeah, when he has to fight, what's that guy's name? Gabriel Byrne. I think he was the devil in End of Days. Have you ever seen End of Days? I'm just bringing up End of Days.
No, I'm not going to lie. I'm
it.
totally ignorant when it comes to...
one of the last good Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, I think. But he's like an ex-special force guy, and for some reason that explains the ridiculous accent he has, but still has a name like Joe, Bag of Donuts or whatever.
Was this post like Terminator 2 and pre like what was it, Jingle All the Way?
Oh, I think it was post Jingle All the Way.
Post Jingle All the Way. Okay.
This summer, watch Jingle All the Way. This Christmas is going to be good. Jingle All the Way. It's got Sinbad in it. It starts with him making the most disgusting protein shake I've ever seen. Like it's got 7 eggs in it. I think he like dumps a ashtray in it or something like that, and like drinks it. And that's like his life. Is every morning he wakes up and drinks a disgusting shake, and then by the end of the movie he's in a fist fight with the devil. Like who is Gabriel Byrne is the devil. In that movie.
Sounds fun. Fist fighting with Satan.
He pees gasoline in one scene. It's pretty. It's pretty wild. It's a must see.
You sold me with the piss and gasoline.
Yeah,
here.
it's watch it at least once, and you might learn something about our religious system. I should have been keeping track. Derek, where are we right now?
25.
We're at 25 exactly.
25 and a half.
25 and a half. We better end this thing. Phillip, thank you so much for coming on. It went by faster than you thought it would, right?
It totally did, yeah.
It's so easy to be on the Montford Meltdown. Why don't you watch the Montford Meltdown next time that I don't tell you when it's coming on? Because this might not even get on the internet. We'll see you later.